How do rockets work? I mean, cars move forward because they're pushing against the surface of the road. So how could a rocket push against the nothingness of space and move forward? The answer is Newton, but people still point to this as clear evidence that spaceflight can't happen, so let me break it down. So Newton was this pretty brilliant English polymath living in the late 17th and early 18th centuries, and his biggest contribution, arguably, is the three laws of motion, the third of which states that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. A really good example of this that I think resonates with a lot of people is firing a firearm. Pulling the trigger fires a bullet. The action of the bullet leaving the barrel triggers a reaction, which is the recoil of the gun. The same thing happens on a rocket. You have fuel and you have oxidizer. They mix and they burn, which is basically a controlled explosion in one direction through the engine bell. That's the action. The reaction is pushing the rocket in the opposite direction. The other thing people like to bring up with this is that fuel needs air to burn, and a rocket can't just bring in air through an intake like a car engine does because there's no air in space. Well, that's why they bring their own air. Let's look at the Apollo Service Propulsion Engine as an example. It had fuel in the form of Aerozine 50 and oxidizer in the form of nitrogen tetroxide. Those two fuels are actually hypergolic, so they just mix and they burn. Action, reaction. I know it's literal rocket science in this case, but it's also pretty simple physics.